My experience at St. Nicolas de Tolentino Parish, Sinai, Ilocos Sur, during our BEC course focused on the experiential shift from the old way of being church to a new way of being church and its impact on the local society. Interpreting my involvement during our Patangan Kaabay or sharing, 3 identified shifts happened in the parish. The process of renewal through the gimong called Misyon Panagbalbaliw, the shifts from culture of inequalities, distinction and discrimination of the culture of equality and respect of human dignity, from the culture of dominating leadership to the culture of participation and co-responsibility, and from the culture of indifference, fear, and silence to the culture of action. First, from culture of inequalities, distinction, and discrimination to the culture of equality and respect of human dignity. The culture of inequalities practiced in the way of the sacraments were celebrated in the parish church made distinctions of the rich and poor. Such culture of inequalities reinforced by the church practices had brought about the mentality of wealth, power, and prestige as a special privilege of the few. The shift from the culture of inequalities to the culture of equals was done with the practice of equality in church services in the spirit of community. Secondly, shift from culture of dominating leadership to the culture of participation and co-responsibility. The culture of dominating leadership, limiting the church involvement with the religious organizations, had reinforced the prevailing colonial mentality and of dependency. The shift from dominating culture to participation and co-responsibility was made possible by designing ministries as community-based and the training on participative learning and facilitating as the way of formation and regular community meetings and activities. Finally, shift from the culture of indifference, fear, silence to the culture of action. The culture of fear and silence in the face of injustice, perpetuating the evils of society with the poor and the powerless as vulnerable victims, had reinforced the mentality of dichotomy, separation of faith and life. The processes of community analysis, decision-making, and collective action responding to the pressing social concerns has initiated the Gimongs to shift from the culture of fear and silence to culture of action and integral faith. Consistent principles stand of the parish as I observed during our 5 days of participation and exposure was on the renewal of the church, critical to the oppressive status quo, parting from any kind of injustices and refusing to be used by grandstanding politicians and the interests of the few have guided the process of the renewal of the church through the Gimongs or the BEC. Developing an alternative pastoral financial system supporting the processes of renewal is also a very important component in sustaining BEC culture, in renewing the church. Gimongs, in my Sinai experience, has evolved a new pastoral financial system, making the communities self-reliant and free from the dictates of self-interest individual or groups. Therefore, when communion, solidarity, simplicity, justice, freedom, love, and peace As values of the kingdom become way of life concretized in the BEC, rooted in the culture, local culture, then the church is renewed.